Okay. Um, as I'm feeling definitely worse than before. I can feel my organs being destroyed. My gastro organics organs, sorry, are being destroyed. I can taste blood, and so that's just basically something happening to my organs. I know it's bad, but this is why I'm speaking now. Because death is coming to all of us, and for me, death is sounds to be near, which I'm okay with this. I don't want to be demoralizing to any target individual, but the purpose of me making videos is just because when I'm too sick or too destroyed to not able to talk, I said everything I need to. It's a lot of mind games going on in my brain to make me accept these manipulations. And I understand why it's happening. This is why I keep saying that a million times. You'll see videos of people of all sorts trying to make me accept this retardation of logic. Because part of this program is to make you believe a reality that's super falsified. To make you believe that this is anything but this large, massive government doing this thing to you. But somehow, this storyline they put together. In the soon you'll see a video of a picture of people I've already shown. These people have been the worst. And Regal tried to paint this retardation of stories. The things they've done to even try to convince me that this manipulation is not being applied onto me. It takes truly a brain that has to. They truly have to minimize their intellect, and you'll see what I'm talking about. I was on the call and I see these people, all together, excited about what's going to happen to me, and I'm watching this trash. Some of them showing their babies to create this nasty manipulation they can make me have. And I remember one of these women before saying how, we're projecting, because I said something that this program seems to project reality onto you, target individual. The reality is, even though they're doing it for the purpose of breaking me down, the reality is the entities running this program have an issue with pedophilia. Right? There's been a big, consistent issue, and I bring it up as much as I can now, because there's been rankings in regard of all the networks in the United States, internet networks, and the DoD network was ranked 19th out of 2,900. The ranking is based on the amount of child porn that is navigating and trafficked within a network. Child Protective Services came up with this ranking. These entities doing these things to us target individuals were ranked top tier. So not only these tactics utilize pedophilia type of tormenting, but the entities running this program, big time pedo. Big time. They're ridiculously, unbelievably. And it's validation. And for me, when they do this manipulation, they're like, no, it got to the point where you'll see in this next video, they are rewiring my memories of me when I'm 10 years old to create patterns. Because what they hold on to is what I did as a child in middle school. Something I did once, impulsively, as a child can do things. Now, because that can show that, okay, if this happened once, why would it only happen once? That's because that's a child doing something impulsive. Why did it not happen multiple times if it's something he was really thinking about, that he wanted to do? No, the act that this happened only once shows how impulsive a child is capable of being, right? So what's going to happen? We're going to look around, see what we can manipulate and change around to make it look like there's a pattern there. But they're going backward. Me, even younger, it's like, no, but you felt like that when remember when you're 13, when you just turned 13, you remember when and then changing things. It's like you literally going back in order to make me accept this manipulation, creating false pattern. Well, I'm here listening to oh man, the Child Protective Services is here ranking these people for trafficking so much child porn. They're ranked 19th out of 2,900. I'm listening to the target individuals all testifying the same thing. Or most of them saying same thing about they do this pedophilia type of torture, all kind of ways of doing pedophilia type of torture. They call me a pedophile, they're forcing me to get stimulation to children, they're making me have child porn, they're making me have pedophilia type of dreams and disturbing nastiness, they're forcing me to get sexual stimulations, taught children. They make me smell baby powder, and then like, no, what we do, we pattern, we mapped it to you as a kid. I was like, yes, of course, I'm too validated. I found out about this without even looking for that specifically. I was looking, is there other people whose brains being manipulated? I was like, oh, there's something called target individual, right? Then start going through the petitions, some of the symptoms, remote pedophilia. I was like, what? Really? Oh my gosh. So this is not happening just to me, because I know it's not me. But I thought maybe what they're doing is just for me to break me down like this. So this is something they're not only doing this to me, but others. That this is a tactic. That in a petition, as a symptom, remote pedophilia. What? It's like, what? Finding out more testimony. Pedophilia type of torture. What? It's a type of torture? This person, who's a target individual, literally calls it a type of torture. Then I listen to no touch torture. Literally calling out that one of the things that almost all target individuals that we interviewed, 1,000 of them, almost all of them say they're implanting child porn. It just became more clear and clear. It's like, okay, so this is a way they break people down. Before that, I was like, no, what we did, made me you think the way you thought when you were a kid. It go to my memories as a child. At some point, they're like, no, we mapped it to you when you were 8 years old. They were like, yeah. So today I'm like, okay, it's over. Validation is beyond. And now finding out the last mass shooting happened in Maine. The man who killed 18 people. Another TI who's hearing voices in his head. The voices were calling him a pedophile. This is what pushed him to kill 18 people. Now, how they validate themselves? It is so sad because they're using typical gaslighting methods. They try to call out any errors that you make, right? Give me a second because they're doing things to my organs. They are doing the typical gaslighting method. What I mean by the typical gaslighting method, it means that anything they can try to use to make you feel doubtful about what you already know, that is a factual aspect of things, that they do these things systematically. Anything they can try to confuse you, to delude you into this falsified reality, they're going to use that against you. I said it many times. You make an error, it's like, oh, you see, you made an error, you thought this was this, and that's okay, so the pedophilia thing is you. Anything. If you say something wrong in this way, I was like, oh, okay, oh, you see, you're wrong there. So this is gaslighting method 101. 101 is really just basic gaslighting. And because my brain is just so manipulated, this is like, oh, you see, we're not doing any, you just heard testimonies, you heard literally like tactics one by one. There's like a ranking, like number 6, they do this pretty fair type of torture. Number 6, you heard the consistency of what they're saying. You've been validated beyond. So for example, I'm on a call talking to somebody. This person been trying to make me believe that somehow they're not manipulating me, right? And like, no, there's something, right? Remember what you did as a kid? I'm like, yes, there is something that's very consistent. I wonder what's the consistent thing that keeps happening to target individual. I wonder what's the consistent thing that this Child Protective Services is seeing when looking at this DoD network. I see what's consistent here. Where is this consistency? Where is there something? Where is this thing that a lot of target individuals are saying? What is this thing they're observing? What is the things they like to do to target individual? But what is also that thing that these entities seeing this something like to do or have been doing? I wonder. You understand? And she's like, there's something because, your child, you when you were a kid, you see? I'm like, oh, so a child, developing brain, moment that happened impulsively as a child, as a kid, never ever happened again. Or then going to even younger, try to create some stimulation, sensation, and rewire them in different ways. Talk about 10-year-old or so, 13-year-old, 7-year-old. So going backward. Me, listening to the no torture list of things they do, calling out this pedophilia type of torture. Sorry, they called it forcing target individuals to see child porn in their mind. Is there something there? This is based on 1,000 surveyed TI. No, this is none of that. It couldn't be you guys. This woman saying they forced me to have sexual stimulation toward children. They started off with my dog. Then this weird sensation, this perverted sensation and reaction was aimed toward children. Is there something now? Doesn't end there. Oh, this transgender woman says there's people around forcing her to think in these pedophilia ways. Is there something? No. There is this woman who literally say they make her smell this like odor of baby diaper, baby powder, and then do the pedophilia type of torture. Doesn't end there. Then there is a mass shooting of somebody who say he was hearing voices. They were calling him a pedophile. Is there something? Like, how much more? How far can it go? Oh, we know that this technology is coming from the DoD and DARPA. Is there something going on there? Maybe external? Guess what? Child Protective Services reviews the networks of all the United States internet. 3,000 or so. Let's just round it to 2,900 actually, to be closer to the real number, which is 2,891. Out of 2,900, these entities saying there's something, were ranked 19th, making them a very tough team. But they don't say that just happened once, really. This amount of child porn is trafficking. It's not just once in a while. They've been consistently being at that level. Is there something? What would it be? Is it my brain being mapped into a brain of a child that's developing? As young as also, they say even 10-year-old, 8-year-old. That's how young they go. Or a program where they've been utilizing pedophilia type of torture has been manipulating the people's brain, when people have been manipulating my brain to react in different ways toward children that I would not react naturally. I wonder, what is this something? You understand? And to validate themselves, these random things they bring up. I'm on the call. Somebody say, this and this. I'm not very sure about this topic because I'm kind of new to this topic, right? I'm learning as I'm going right now. This is a new topic that I've not have that much expertise in. So I'm talking to this individual. I'm trying to buy myself some time to kind of review things because I'm not sure. I'm honestly not sure. And instead of saying, "Hey, I'm not sure," I'm like, you know what? We usually don't see that, but let me, I kind of go around it because I'm not too sure. I should have just said, you know what, let me look it up. Maybe there's something we can just add, but right now I'm not 100% sure, but at the same time I don't want to sound like that. But I say, I'm not sure if there is, maybe this is not specific to this, I go around, but the truth is I'm not very much aware. I'm planning to look it up as soon as this call is over. But this person looks it up and finds it, it's like, okay, that's good, she found it, and it's like, okay. But immediately it's like, you see, you thought this was like that, but she got this. So now, based on that, I should now believe that they're not doing these manipulations, where they literally doing things that others have exactly said that they go through. But I should be like, no, but we're making you experience what you experienced when you were a kid. And by the way, when I was a kid, I didn't experience it like that. But still, this is the logic I should go with. So you tell me that based on this topic that I have no information about, no information, I'm not expert in. Honestly, when I was saying that, I was hoping that I can go and look it up and see something. If there's something, that was my plans. Okay, I'm going to say this and that, but if I find something, I'll bring it up. Right. Based on that, now I should be doubtful about some of the most validating things you ever heard. The validations are so much incredible. It's so scary to hear somebody who literally said the same things. Literally. And you're like, I have no idea who this person is, but she's saying the exact same thing. And so you think this is the tactic, the mind games, the gaslighting methods. And this person's like, oh, there's something, huh? And she was like, and when she said that, I was like, yeah, there's consistently something. And she just looked away. I was like, yeah, I know. You dumb yourself down. You are trying to gaslight me into accepting these things. Whatever you're going to find out, but this topic has nothing to do with what's happening to me. And understand that's your job. You're supposed to make me feel doubtful about things that every other target individual is calling out. Matter of fact, even on the petition. And yes, there is something. There's people who've been using pedophilia type of torture to break down the ego, the self-image of target individuals so they can manipulate them. This is the something. The entities doing that to you are not only entities that do that to break you down, but also these entities have issue with child pornography, so much so they're trafficking child pornography in a volume that is like top tier in the United States. That is the something. There is a lot of something actually. There's a lot that validates me. Not this topic that has nothing to do with anything about me. There is beyond. There's not something that, oh, look at this when he was 10 years old. There is something. Or talk about in middle school the stupid thing he did when he was a kid. This is now that's something, you see. So you want me as a grown man ignore that the somethings that you're talking about has been said, but women with children who say that they've been forced to get sexual stimulation toward children, but a man who surveyed 1,000 people say they force people to think about children or have this not even think about it, have child porn implanted in their mind. Forget about me knowing myself, so I know it's not me. I know it's them manipulating. I'm not even saying that this is just, they're going to try to gaslight you. I just want to put them so down. About this woman who calls it pedophilia type of torture, literally calling it a type of torture that's pedophilia-centric. No. Should I bring up the transgender woman who says there's neighbors around forcing her to think about children in these pedophilia ways or forcing her to have pedophilia thoughts? No, none of that. How much validation? Oh, maybe you should listen to this Robert Dawkins man who's talking about how they have used these tactics to break down the ego. Break down the ego. How? By doing these disturbing things, this psychological and physical torture. Oh, another something. This is crazy. When I started looking for target individual, when I learned that term, I find like the torture, psychological torture, that is specific to target individual. One of the tactics was using pedophilia as a tool, as a weapon, pedophilia weapon. This is used to break the self-image of the target individual. Look, what the heck? This came to me while I was looking for something else. Now, not even looking for something else, looking for a target individual. What is this is happening? I didn't know they're going to call out specifically the pedophilia type of torture. I didn't know. I started seeing the pattern over and over. Over and over. I was like, Jesus. Because I didn't even pedophilia type of... I didn't know. When I started looking, I was like, oh, there's something here. Pedophilia. Now I was like, okay, let me look for it. But then I already found all the information I needed to. Now, 2-3 months ago, somebody ended up killing 18 people. Guess what they were calling him? There's something. There's a lot. And this gaslighting method is not going to make me doubt myself. I know who I am, first of all. I'm not even talking about me as a man, as an adult individual, knowing myself. I've been long enough to know who I am. Forget about that. Let's just to add on top of these validations, it's just the fact that I know this is a tactic they break down. That it came to me when I wasn't even trying to look for that specific torment. I was looking at mind control. This shit comes up. And today, to find out that the entities that are obviously running this program come from entities where pedophilia is so much of a problem that a bill passed to limit the amount of child porn circulating within this network using Pentagon devices. This is in 2018. And these people are like, now there is something. Remember, we mapped it to you, mapped it. All these bills try to stop the use of computers or the use of defense computers and devices to be used to traffic child porn, because it's such a problem. These governmental entities that make sure that the child protective services, let me be specific, the watchdog of child porn, child protective services is ranking these entities sharing so much child porn as 19th out of 2,900, making them top tier for sharing child porn. Those are the people saying they map there. This is how disturbing it is. But me, because this topic, I had no idea about anything. It's like, oh yeah, maybe I'll look it up, maybe. Oh, look it up, you see? Proof, you see? There's something. There is so much validation, but these people's job is to get you to break down and accept this manipulation. Target individuals do not identify with this shit. They want to break you down. You see how retarded they have to become? These people are very smart enough to understand reality, okay? Some of them can dumb themselves more than others. Seeing this woman, they start creating this, no, we're at war. You're not at war, okay? This is psychological warfare, right? In the sense that you are using me as a test subject to break me down, to be able to control me more and more. It's mind games that is utilized to break the target individual, the test subject, so that this test subject can be manipulated in further ways to break him from who he is or who she is, and then repattern that person into somebody else. These gaslighting methods will never make me identify with the validation I have. And then they try to go, no, every time when they try to block what I'm saying, oh, that's abuse, remember? And then what they try to do is then go back to me as a middle schooler and try to make me believe that what I did when I was a kid is abuse, while they involved in a program which I've been validated that they torture children in so many ways. Sexually, mentally, psychologically, physically, and destroy their life. And these people now won't be, now you pay for what you did as a kid, when they are involved in a program that tortured children. What in the F? I'm sorry, all due respect, I will not I will never be accepting of this manipulation that is done to so many others. When they try to vilify me as a kid in middle school, I will always see them as like, this is coming from people who are literally torturing children. A child dumbness in middle school, this impulsive thing that has exaggerate. I was hearing this woman saying bezel because they try to create this exaggeration versus like, you disgusting low life. This is how compromised you are. That you try to exaggerate what I did when I was in middle school, while you're involved in a program where this kid is suffocating because this technology is restricting their lungs. You're involved in that, and you know today's happening. 2 children. So me, when I see them, I know what they do to children. I know how they manipulate men and women to force us to break down from who we are and try to find ways to deflect things. I will never accept their version of reality. It's falsified, it's distorted. The reason why they create and push on this false version is because they want to depattern you. There is no more validation. There is so much validation that pedophilia is utilized in these disturbing ways to break you. And they use intimidation and fear and maybe even torture to get you to accept this manipulation. And then for me, they try to present themselves like, listen, we are this woman, group of families. Shut up. We know who's running this program. This is called PSYOPs. You create a facade, but who's behind it is really the person running the show. To all my target individuals, stay strong.